I should also state unequivocally that Iran's defensive and missile capabilities and Iran's missiles will never be the subject of any negotiations.
Large armada, flotilla, you can call it whatever you want, heading toward Iran right now, even larger than what we had in Venezuela.
Britain has rushed 6 F-35B stealth jets to RAF Akrotiri in Cyprus, deploying its most advanced aircraft to the volatile eastern Mediterranean region, according to The Times. The deployment is seen as a clear precautionary step to protect the strategically vital British base and surrounding areas from potential Iranian missile retaliation or regional spillover violence. RAF Akrotiri already hosts Typhoon combat aircraft that regularly conduct surveillance and strike missions over Iraq and Syria against extremist threats and militias. The significant beef-up of air assets dramatically highlights London's detection of growing risks from regional spillover conflict or direct Iranian escalation in the Levant. The rapid move shows deep fear that even amid delicate diplomacy with Iran, the US could suddenly pivot from negotiations to launching devastating military strikes on Tehran. Last month, 4 separate RAF Typhoons were urgently deployed to Qatar at Doha's direct request, bolstering Gulf air defenses amid the rapidly deteriorating security environment. This strategic repositioning comes precisely as Iran and the US took a small step back from the brink by holding key nuclear talks in neutral Omani territory. The diplomatic engagement arrives amid a massive American military buildup across the Gulf region and international waters perilously close to Iran's coastline. These Muscat negotiations mark the first face-to-face engagement between both adversarial sides since the dramatic US strikes on Iranian nuclear sites last June. This comes as Iran boldly framed the Muscat talks as a quiet but significant diplomatic win, with discussions flowing entirely on Tehran's carefully dictated terms rather than Washington's. Iran firmly believes the US entered these high-stakes negotiations on Iran's own preferred terms, rather than Washington's originally proposed comprehensive framework. From Iran's triumphant perspective, President Donald Trump has already crossed the first major threshold by agreeing to engage directly on nuclear issues alone. Trump has reportedly accepted Supreme Leader Khamenei's core condition that uranium enrichment itself remains not up for complete elimination in any potential deal. Tehran came out of initial sessions convinced the US delegation understood Iran's unyielding stance and showed early diplomatic flexibility, according to Reuters sources. Iran categorically rejected sweeping US demands to halt all enrichment activities outright, but offered limited discussion about potential levels and purity restrictions instead. Iranian diplomatic sources told Reuters that Tehran is strategically bargaining over manageable limits rather than contemplating total surrender of its nuclear capabilities. If true, this creates the powerful impression that despite Trump's maximum pressure military posture, he has quietly accepted Iran's non-negotiable baseline positions up front. Iran's key takeaway from the opening round is that Washington didn't forcefully put missiles on the negotiating table, confirming prioritization of nuclear talks exclusively.
Well, first of all, let me to thank the Sultanate of Oman for hosting this meeting today between Iran and the US, which was in fact indirect talks. I'm very grateful to His Majesty Sultan and my very good colleague Badr al-Busaidi, the distinguished Foreign Minister of Oman, for all the facilities they provided for these negotiations, which was actually indirect negotiations with the help of His Excellency Al Busaidi, we managed to talk with each other. I think our negotiation with the U.S. delegation was, in fact, done in a good atmosphere. We were able to exchange our viewpoints, to express our concerns and our interests for a possible deal between the two sides on our nuclear question. I think it was a good start, a good beginning, and now we have to go back to our capitals and discuss, the question with our superiors and explain what happened during these negotiations, and we will decide for the next round, inshallah.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't border because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.